So I really did not want to name this video what I did, Don't Niggerize Africa, but I felt it was the best way to get your attention to this concern. I will probably use the N-word in this video more often than I used it in all of 2022. But it is of concern to me. I grew up understanding the word nigger to mean someone that was the lowest of the low, someone that was not worthy of any respect, someone that was to be despised, to be hated, to be avoided, just the worst of the worst. So that's what that word means to me. Now, I know in the past, 20, 30 years, some black people have attempted to flip the script on what that word means and adopt it as something that's kind of hip and cool, and we can say it, but you can't. And I'm sorry, but I just don't buy it. I just can't buy it. Richard Pryor, probably, in my opinion, the best comedian who ever lived, used to use that word a lot, and he was funny as hell, but I was very gratified when he went to Afrika and said that he didn't see any niggers there. And that's what I would hope we as black people could start considering. Are we that? Or are we a people who have been oppressed, been discriminated against, who've been terrorized, who've been rejected? That does define what the lowest of the low is, right? The way we've been treated. We've been treated like that, but it doesn't mean that we have to see ourselves that way. And so I'm going to encourage us to think about ourselves in a new way. Recently I had a young man here at my apartment, and I live in Africa. I don't live in the United States anymore. So this was a young African man who looked at me while he was doing some work at my house and with a big smile said, "I want to be a nigger." After I picked my jaw up off the floor, that young man and I had a very long talk in which I explained to him the true meaning of that word, and that when we have a situation, and I was talking about the United States, where young black men don't have self-respect, don't think very much of themselves because they've been conditioned not to, then they don't think very much of each other, do they? And so it's not hard for them to hurt each other, to even kill each other. Because if my life is not worth anything, then your life certainly isn't. So I'm going to ask our young brothers and sisters and all black people of conscience, let's really think about how we want to be known and how we want to be with one another. I like the way it's done here in Africa. I'm auntie, I'm ma, I'm mommy, somebody else's brother or cousin or daughter or grandson. So the way we address each other here, and I mean even strangers, somebody in the store will call me ma, and that's fine. It took me a while to get used to it, but I like it. But they're recognizing that I'm an older woman. So, but what it's saying is that we're family. And I love that. We are family. And I'm a family with black people everywhere. I'm not part of the nigger family, and I don't want you to be part of that either. So I'm going to invite my young brothers and sisters who are still using that word to really, really give it some thought and think about what you're really saying about yourself. I'm going to invite you to start learning about African history so you can understand the greatness that we come from and the greatness that we can still find. So please don't come to Africa and bring that stuff with you. Come here to heal. Come here to love. Come here to succeed. But don't niggerize Africa. Thanks.